Hi there and welcome to anybody who's logged in through the website or anybody on YouTube that's floating around. Another RVOps demonstration, this one with a little bit of a twist. This is the first one we're going to do where we have the opportunity to interview one of the creators of rucksacks and Bergens and Daysacs from the Gogh range. So we've got Steve Hayward here today and he's going to be talking us through the Constrictor Modular Rucksack, which is making a lot of exciting waves throughout the military community. So without further ado, we'll get on and introduce him and he can talk us through his range. Take us through the system.
Well, the rucksack in this format is fully kitted up, but essentially it's a 35-litre rucksack that has a webbed chassis system that's integrated all around the bag that allows you to put attachments on. So you can have just two side attachments or just a single attachment, or you can have all three attachments on. The unique modularity about this is you can then tailor the requirements or the attachments that you have to meet the need of where you're taking the rucksack to. So as I strip it down, as we get to the basic sack, the chassis system again is concealed so to reduce all snag issues, and it comes together so you can remove in sections here where you can disengage the pouches. So if you had a requirement to meet just the first pouch, it's then discarded. And just to give an example of the requirements, this particular pouch here would be for a combat trauma medic, where you can see it has certain requirements for field medicine fitted and kitted out.
So Steve, is that a little bit like a grab bag then?
Yes, it would work like a grab bag. It would also allow you to disengage it and stop any environmental contamination on your own PPE that's stashed in the bag. Current medical bags have big issues where they open the bag up and the PPE gets contaminated, especially if there's a helicopter nearby blowing dust up. So this separates that and reduces environmental contamination. Because the front bag's gone, this is, as you can see here, is part of the chassis attachment system that we've got in place. So we would then take the buckles off this and push them straight into the side here. And we've gone from 3 to 2. It is quite unique with its modularity. Because the way it's designed, the buckles here, if you disconnect this side attachment, it works round here with the buckles at the side. We have 2 at the top and 2 in the bottom one pocket, which are here. Now each of these comes off and compresses around to contain the equipment if you wanted to use it as a grab bag. So you could actually carry it and use it as a grab bag. But they're all designed so they interact with each other. So when you actually put them on, using the same anchor points, you can double up. Because as this would fasten into the anchor point, the other bag would fasten into this buckle here, and it's still lashed at the same point. So we maximise the amount of space that we've got and the modularity that we use to reduce any slop or sway in the system. As I come round here and remove this side pouch, we finish up with the basic Daysac. The Daysac itself has molly attachments, ice-axe loops, walking stick stays, and it's got the chassis system here at the side that you can see. This here is designed so that the chassis system then is tucked away behind the zips, again to reduce snagging, and we go back to a side compression strap like so as we tuck it up to a normal Daysac. And the good thing about the modularity is that you can tailor it to suit your needs. In the past I've bought rucksacks where I've had to put attachments or extra webbing on it for it to do what I want. This particular bag has everything on it now, so you don't need to make attachments. The crampon loops here are designed to take crampons. It'll also have other unique features that you can do. You can put bungee loops on it and a bungee net for stowing a helmet. You can actually use it with a climbing rope to lash up, so you can actually put a bunch of rucksacks together if there's a group of you or in a foot patrol and you want to use it for traversing a ravine, a number of other options you can have. We do a special canoe sack that goes in here that's inflatable, so if you had an injured colleague we could put 4 of these together, lash it up with the crampon loops. With the inflatable canoe bags you can actually take an injured colleague over a water crossing. So we took every worst case scenario we possibly could. Now up here we have buckles here, again, which is part of the chassis system, which lock up and tuck away.
Steve, has this been tested by anybody?
Yes, it's been tested by the Malaysian military, South African Defence Force, the DSTL, the UK in Porton Down, and it's been on trials at the ITDU.
Cracking, mate, crack on then. Don't let us stop you.
Right, we remove the top, the lid from here, and if you look we've got 2 more compression straps across the top. Now the reason we've got so many compression straps everywhere on the bag is that when you're actually on the move, most people tend to consume more energy compensating for poorly loaded kit from slopping and swaying around. So we looked at ways of compressing the kit and maximising it so you actually use less energy from getting from A to B, so more miles to the gallon. This turned out to be quite beneficial. They had a recent biomechanical trial with the Royal College of Physicians and the Royal Society of Science, and they took a variety of well-known commercial rucksacks as well as this one, and they were tested using biomechanical measuring tools which recorded your posture, your heart rate, skin temperature, the amount of oxygen you were taking in and out, and they collated the information at the end of it, and this bag was 35% better than the next bag available at the end of the trial, and it was the heaviest. The one thing that everyone said when they picked it up, it was at least 250 grams heavier than the next bag. That said, it was also the most efficient, because sometimes lighter isn't always better, and you need to be able to manage your weight better, and having lighter kit necessarily will not manage better weight, and that's quite a significant point to remember if you are doing long distance walks, long distance yomps or tabs. So we've got split compression straps across the top. On the inside of the lid we have here an admin pouch for you to keep your personal admin in, and then on this side of the lid we have another pocket here which also has more capacity space and a rain cover, so the bag comes with a rain cover as well. On the sides here, we undo here, we've got 1 pockets that are expandable if you don't want to use the side pouches, and inside these pockets we have another 1 pocket in here for putting bits of kit in. The reason we've done this is because occasionally when you go out you need to access certain parts of the bag without going into the main compartment. When going into the main compartment you run the risk of environmental contamination. So if you've got little areas and little pockets like the one in the waistband here, it allows you to access kit quite quickly. Coming to here, we've got left or right access either side for a bladder. We've got lash points on here that you can also use to put kit on. So if you've got your GPS or a compass, or if you've got a day card you're marking to monitor your routes. Everything can be attached for quick access on the front. Another thing that we did and we designed is we reinforced everything with webbing across here. We built this and we over-engineered it, because if a guy gets hurt or he gets injured and you have to grab the shoulder strap or you have to grab the handle here and that breaks and the guy trying to save him gets hurt in that process, that would be our fault. And we decided that we weren't going to accept that, so we completely over-engineered it, which also adds to the weight, but made this so strong that you can actually tow a Land Rover with this. The braking strain on this, not that it's of great significance, but it was 3,800 Newton meters, which is the same torque that a Transit minibus has. One of the unique developments of this is the back system. We looked at all sorts of different ways of transmitting the weight down your back, and we realised that there was some significant issues with the way rucksacks were made at the current time. So we went to the Royal College of Physicians and we got a spinal surgeon, and he explained to us that most rucksacks put weight here in the lumbar region of the spine. If you look at my spine here, in that area there, that's the only part of the spine that physically articulates. And what he told us, that the more weight you have on your back, that weight is magnified between 5, 7, 10%, depends on the angle that you articulate, adding to the and compounding the stress injury of the discs in the vertebrate, causing problems later in life. And many old soldiers will tell you that they've all got a bad back from carrying bad Bergens. So the idea was not to put weight on the lumbar region of the spine. So we looked at working with the musculoskeletal chassis, which we did, and we came up with this system which was hugely successful. It sits on the working muscles rather than on the spine, and it's the muscles that actually articulate with the spine that would handle stress and weight a lot better than current layouts of rucksacks where they have a pad here and a pad here. So this goes up and down from the glutes right up to just below the trapezium muscles here. We padded the shoulder straps again so you can put a lot of weight in the Daysac. Now this is stressed to 100 kilos. I won't advise you carrying 100 kilos, but it's stressed to 100 kilos. But the comfort level is significantly designed for someone who's going to carry a lot of weight. We've padded the hip section here of the waistband, again to maximise comfort. And in the process of doing so, we got what was probably the best cooling and airflow system that you can have on your back. Because you still sweat, no matter what you put on your back. But when they did the biomechanical trial, the skin temperature of the people wearing this particular system was significantly better than all the other systems that were available. In the process of this, it reduced the amount of oxygen and the amount of breaths that you were taking per minute, so you were consuming less energy. So it was evident that this rucksack and this design of rucksack, even though it was marginally heavier, was actually less consuming with regards to energy from getting from A to B than the rest of the systems available. And finally, Andy, we come to the top and the bottom of the Bergen, where we have lash points and ladder buckles where we can strap using the webbed attachments that come with the bag. You can put a roll mat on it, mortar tubes, with different covers from top to bottom. You can even put mortar base plates on. So the modularity and all the actual physical innovation that's gone into the bag, along with the design of the back system, allowed us to patent the entire system.
Steve, that's absolutely brilliant, mate. As you can see, design, all the thought that's gone into this. This is what we're after. This is what we're always after as professionals. Something that's been extremely well thought out. Okay, the price might be a little bit more expensive than you'd be used to for paying for a 35 litre, but think about the technical benefits, you know, right the way through from the back system all the way through to the compression straps. All these things are relevant to making your job more efficient in the field. So Steve, really appreciate it. Thanks very much indeed for turning up. And folks out there, you know what to do. Have a good look around, have a look at the specifications, and personally I think it's probably worth dipping that a little bit further into your pocket. Thanks very much indeed for watching.
A bag for life.
A bag for life. Cheers.